Hey traders, John Howell here. Today we're going to be just doing a bit of a market update across the markets, silver, gold, and mining stocks, and also the stock market as well too. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it right now. One thing I'm really noticing across the markets is if you've been watching my videos even for the last few weeks, you'll know that I said down the bottom here when the market actually started to tell us that the buyers are coming back in, and on this day right here, when this day happened right there on the S&P 500, actually, you know what? Let's actually bring up a chart with no moving average just so we can have a much cleaner look at what's going on here. There we go. No moving averages. So we can see that what happened here is we started to get in a bit of a downtrend, lower high, but then we had a bit of a double bottom. And then we ran up and we made a higher low. And I was saying on this day here that if we hold and we start to get a push to the upside, that's the buyers coming back into this market. And I would not want to be fired then. Then the very next day came around and then we got this update. And then when we got this update, I said the buyers are back in control now and we're probably likely to race up to an all-time new high. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Now, I didn't know it was going to happen straight away. I actually honestly thought, and this is where you never know, right? I honestly thought we may have gotten something like this first, and then an upward, and then a pullback, and then maybe an up like that. I didn't know it was just going to go simply just straight up like it is right now. Now, we could get a bit of a down day tomorrow, and that's okay. But we are starting to see a bit of a scream almost to all-time new highs. And this is looking like that whole Santa Claus rally that happens at generally in December, that may have actually been starting right now because I see November and December being very big, strong moves in the markets. I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments below still saying to this day that the market is going to crash, the market's going to go down, the market's going to do. The one thing that's so important is that it's not that I or you or no one knows what's going to happen. The most important thing is, guess what? Just view these charts. And when I said this market's made a higher low breaking past, someone said to me, John, but it's made a lower low. And I didn't understand that because the market's clearly made a low and a higher low. Someone said, John, the market's made a lower low. What are you talking about? So that's what's happening right now with that on the S&P 500 and good old Nasdaq as well. Nasdaq looks like it's just again, same situation that we're getting through here. We've got this sort of low level through here. We have a clear high low and a gap up. And I was saying also that this gap here is probably likely to be what we call a breakaway gap because after the market pulls back and then we have a gap up, it's a very high probability that that gap now is likely to be what we call a breakaway gap, which means it's breaking away from this downtrend and starting a new upward trend. So that's what's happening right now, guys. It looks like we're definitely trying to push to the upside right now. And I still have a target of 17,000 by the end of this year. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all this plans out. I'd really like to see the Nasdaq make a new high. There is still the potential of a big head and shoulder formation maybe coming into play. See this shoulder, head, and maybe another big shoulder formation. But again, that's the sort of question mark that I got on the Nasdaq situation on that through there. Moving over now through to the gold market. And gold market, we're still continuing to get this squeezing up. And the gold squeeze will produce the gold boom. And I was talking about this in yesterday's video, but we're just still squeezing up through here. So we're just nothing really much going on with the gold today. We had a little bit of an update today. Moving over to silver though, silver actually got a very nice breakout today. So we can just remove this trend line off there now. And it looks like silver actually had a bit of a strong breakout. If we have a look at the hourly chart, you can see how the hourly chart, we had a bit of a pullback and then we had a nice run. And now we're getting a bit of a pullback to where we are right now today. So silver looks like it's still holding here quite nicely. And it does look like that maybe, just maybe, this sort of false breakdown or false breakout to the downside and then a quick reversal. This may just be the end of that trend and the slingshot move is starting. And maybe, just maybe, I'd really like to see, once again, traders, I really would like to see, for silver anyway, for us to either go up and then create a high low, or even come back down and create a higher low. Let's actually get a bit of an upward trend, because right now we're still in this lower high, lower high. This could be another lower high here. So I want to get a higher low starting an upward trend. That's what I want to see when it comes to silver there. And also the GDX as well too. The GDX is still a bit of a sideways day, nothing much going on today, but what's going on with the good old GDX, the gold mining stocks, is still this V bottom in play. And so I would really like to see a nice pullback through here, give us a nice high low to start that upward trend. So that's what I'm seeing through there, traders. And one of the best things that I can really encourage you to do is always look at the long-term picture. So if I bring up, say, something like ACN, if I bring up ACN and I bring up my longer-term chart, you can see how, like, a stock like ACN, if I bring up from there to there, you can see how this market bounced off this level through here. Then it bounced off that level. Look what happened just recently here. Look what happened just here. Right? It came down to the level, had support. Then what also did it have? It had support through here. Then it had a higher low, and then the market went for a big boom, right? Pulled back to support, higher low, big boom. Pulled back to support, look at that, bing. It actually didn't even create a higher low. It just took off like a rocket and made a move to the upside. So always keep an eye on, not just, a lot of people just focus on what's happening right now today and even the last month or two. But if we can bring it back the last 1 year, maybe even the last sort of 2 years worth of data, sometimes to see these sort of big longer term trends, and we can start to see, okay, look what's happening through here. You know, we had a bit of a support. You know, we actually had a pullback through here. We had a bounce support, and we had a move to the upside, and so on and so forth. So you can really start to see where these markets are likely to bounce and what's going on through there. So guys, right now, the bottom line is I'm still seeing a strong rally coming out of the stock market, and I do see that once again, I do see November and December being very, very, very strong months, because they haven't started tapering yet. We've still got 0% interest rates, and we still have a flood of money on the sidelines coming into these markets as we speak. So it's going to be an exciting bullish move, I believe, in November and December this year. Traders, I want to invite you to my webinar that I'm running today. And on this webinar, I'm going to share with you all the details to my #1 trading system for the last 17 years and how I only trade 1 hour per day. Plus, also going to be learning the 3 secrets that I had to master over the last 17 years to generate a really good income. If you go to johnsfreetraining.com, or there should be a link in the description, click on that. Go over there right now, register. If you are struggling with the trading right now, I promise you this is going to completely game change, because you're going to understand why you are going backwards and why you're losing money. And then I'm going to teach you exactly what the system I use that gets me a really high % win-loss ratio. So this is what I want you to do right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go over there, register for my webinar right now today, because you're going to absolutely love it. Or there should be a link in the description. And I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. So go to that right now, and I look forward to seeing you on my next webinar. Go to that right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go to that right now.